thank you all so much for coming out on a Saturday morning, showing your support for such an important cause, taking a stand, devoting your time and energy to stand up for what you fight for and what you believe for, right? Love it. So we got an amazing list of speakers on the agenda for y'all today. But first, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my experience, what brought me here. I'm sure you'll find a lot of similar experiences in your guys' backgrounds. My name is Javier Espitia. I am a first-generation American born to Mexican immigrant parents. My parents started coming over the border when they were 13 years old, never got more than a second grade education in Mexico. They were undocumented for basically my entire childhood. Same goes for my two older brothers. And we just came here to work hard, bust our butts, go to school, and try to make our own version of the American dream, and that's exactly what we did. My dad always used to say, "Mijo, tú y mi mamá vinimos para trabajar duro para que tú no tuvieras trabajar como nosotros." That means, son, your mom and I came here to work backbreaking jobs in construction, in the farms, in the fields, in the Arizona heat, so you and your brothers could study, go to school, and have options. And that's exactly what they did, and that's the sense of sacrifice, of service that brought me here, that has brought you all here today. I know y'all are a very expressive bunch, and y'all have some things you guys want to get off your chest. So let's get something off our chest together to start this right. So join me all in the first chant. We'll go word for word, and then all together at once. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Now all together, the whole thing on 3. 1, 2, 3. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. I love it. Jeff Sessions has no idea what we were just saying, but he knows he hates it. All right, so now for our first speaker of the day. That'll be the lead organizer of this event, representing Families Belong Together Cleveland. Before I bring this amazing lady up, she took the courageous step to decide to host this whole rally. This magnificent event got this amazing turnout. So please, a warm round of applause for April Berg.
Hey guys! Excuse my notes. Good morning everybody, and thank you for being here at the Families Belong Together rally. My name is April Berg, and like all of you, I am here to make my voice heard, my voice heard, Am I on? Am I on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. So again, I'm April Berg, and like all of you, I'm here to make my voice heard, my tears felt, and my anger directed productively towards 3 issues. Reuniting families. Those torn apart at the southern border. Hello, hello. Stopping the Ohio raids carried out by ICE that are tearing apart families right here at home. And calling for an immigration system that values human dignity. We have a problem in Washington, we have a problem at our southern border, and we have a problem right here in Ohio. Who am I? I am every one of you. I am feeling outraged and helpless watching as this administration systematically abuses those who are escaping the worst circumstances imaginable, trying to bring their children out of harm to safety. Who among us wouldn't do everything and anything to save our children and give them the best possible future? Who wouldn't do that? We turn on the TV and we see these horrific images every day now. Human beings literally being treated like animals. And these images cannot be turned off. They are real, and they are happening now in this day and age. Who would have thought a year or two ago that we would be dealing with this? And who knows what we will be dealing with in a year or two from now? What's coming down the pike? This needs to stop now. We don't have time to wait. So, who will stand up? Who will protect innocent children and say no? How can it get any worse? Babies, the most innocent among us. And we're reminded in this moment of that chilling poem where first they came for others. I said nothing because I was not one of them. And by the time they came for me, there was no one to speak for me. This is a pivotal moment in our country's history, and we will not be bystanders. A couple weeks ago, I was reading tweets from Walter Schaub, the former director of the U.S. Office of Government Ethics under Obama and Trump. He's the one who left the White House because he was horrified with the lack of ethics in this administration. And he has been vocal. And on Twitter, he said, how do we not take to the streets in outrage with what is going on with these children? And like many others, I said, you have a platform. You're on TV. Make it happen. Take to the streets. And sure enough, shortly after, he announced the march that is happening today in Washington, D.C. And I signed up. But as you may have noticed, I am not in Washington, D.C. right now, so my plans changed a little bit. I realized I couldn't go. So I kept going back and looking at the signups to see where in Cleveland is this march or rally going to happen? And I kept going back, and it wasn't happening, and it was showing up in Los Angeles and in Texas and all these places, but Cleveland wasn't showing up. And granted, it could have been a matter of minutes, I will admit. I got very impatient. And it said, if you want to host, if you're not seeing it in your own city and you want to host your own, fill out the form. So I filled out the form. And I freaked out, and I said, should I be doing this? I know nothing except that I am horrified and outraged. And I hit submit. We are in a crisis. There is no bar too low for this administration. And many key members of Congress are complicit in these policies. Now is when we need to find our way to stand up and do something. We cannot be bystanders. So speak out, sign up, hit submit. There are so many grassroots organizations to get involved with that I didn't even know existed until they reached out to me, seeing that I had hit that submit button, and thank God for them, because this would not be happening without them. So look for organizations like Action Together Lakewood area, America's Voice Ohio, Cleveland Jobs with Justice, Cuyahoga County Progressive Caucus, District 14 Voice, Indivisible Cleveland, IRTF Cleveland, Lorain County Rising, Planned Parenthood, and Advocates of Ohio, and others. Find your voice, express it. We can't just sit back as children are being abused and traumatized. We cannot take it. We cannot take it, and we're not going to take it. So, I was told I need a chant. So this isn't a chant, but I'm hoping most of you know this. Are you ready? Yeah. We're not gonna take it. Who knows this? No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. Louder. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. That should be our battle cry. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Just a quick housekeeping rule, not rule. This is awesome, you're gonna love it. The Cleveland Division of Police are here, and they have set up, they flushed out the fire hydrants and set up little drinking fountains. So if you're thirsty, I know, is that awesome? How amazing. So if you're thirsty and it's a hot day, which is so incredible, you're all here, wow. There, you'll see the little elbow, like the little drinking fountain spout. Help yourselves, get some water, fill up your water bottles. If you need cups, come see us over here. We have a ton of cups. Thanks again, you guys. And don't forget, we aren't gonna take it. Javier?
Thank you so much, April. Again, April was the person that took the initiative, that planted the seed, that led to the amazing outpouring of support and grassroots activism that brought you all here today. So let's please give another warm round of applause for April for everything she did. All right, y'all. You guys saw the response that the Stoneman Douglas kids received for their activism, for the marches and rallies they organized. Yes, definitely. A round of applause for them, for stepping up, for taking charge, for not taking it. They did an amazing job on social media promoting their causes, their events. So maybe let's take a cue from the effectiveness of their cause, of the way they advocated, and let's start tweeting at @BelongCLE for today's event. We all know why we're here, why we are personally here, but let's let the whole world know why we did what we did today, okay? Okay, as I'm sure you're all aware, there was recently a raid in Sandusky at Corsos. I've personally been doing a few trips. I've been there every weekend since it happened. I had the pleasure of meeting an incredible woman there, whose name I will not use. I will use an assumed name to protect her identity and privacy. Her name is Maria. She has a 17-year-old son who has DACA, and a husband who is undocumented, and they both worked at Corsos. She also has an 8-year-old son and a 4-year-old son who are United States citizens. So the 17-year-old graduated from high school the Sunday before the Corsos raid, and he worked at Corsos with his dad there. When the raid occurred, he got to see his dad taken away in person, but they didn't touch him because he had DACA. He had just graduated high school, and his response was to work more hours to help his family make ends meet and save up for college starting this fall. Can you imagine seeing that firsthand and then responding in that way? It just so happens that his little brothers, 8 and 4 years old, are US citizens, and now anytime they hear a knock on the door, they run and hide in their own home. That kind of trauma caused for no good reason. Like, what was the purpose, right? So I thought I'd want to share that with y'all.